It hadn't been a day when the group had heard a commotion out on the streets of Woods End. Thundering hooves and raucous gunfire peeled off into the open desert. Someone shouted, "It's them, the Scafford gang. They just robbed the bank, and now they're getting away." Without a word, the four companions ran to the stables in order to give chase. This was the best lead that they were likely to get. The chase led through a series of canyons, which made the trail a lot easier to follow. Success had been their enemy today, as the gang barely attempted to cover their tracks. Turning a bend, the party saw the gang dismount from their mutant horses and disappear into a mine with their ill-gotten gains.
Well, it looks like we might be settling things sooner than we expected, if Doolin is with them.
God willing, would that too much bloodshed?
With all due respect, sister, that's not how it ended for me and my brother. But if he's willing to come peacefully, then I'll settle for the hanging he's due.
Bullet unsheathed her knives as silent as the grave, ready for either outcome.
Welcome to Crawling with Dungeons. I'm Rob. We are back with Season 2 of our campaign series for Shadows of Brimstone. We've got a brand new posse put together, and we're going to be starting on a mission having to do with the Scafford gang. Now, the posse is after a particular outlaw. The posse's been chasing Bill Doolin, the infamous outlaw, and they've cornered him. They believe they've cornered him in this mine with some Scafford outlaws. The mission uses standard setup, and all heroes start on the map entrance map tile as normal. Place the darkness marker on the depth track in the space marked 10. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. During the mission, the darkness marker moves down the track towards the darkness space instead of towards the mine entrance space. The hero posse marker on the depth track works as normal. Mission goal. The heroes are chasing the Scafford gang as they flee deeper into the mines, represented by the darkness marker moving down the track towards the darkness start space at the bottom. The hero posse marker must catch up to the darkness marker on the track to stop the Scafford gang and have a showdown before they get away. Special rules. Threat decks. Scafford only. For this mission, the normal threat decks, including epic threats, should only include threat cards that have at least one keyword Scafford enemy listed on them. Also, for this mission, there are no discard piles for the threat decks. Instead, anytime one or more threat cards needs to be drawn, shuffle the deck and draw the cards needed. While in another world, anytime the threat card would be drawn, roll a d6. On a roll of 1, 2, or 3, draw an otherworld threat card as normal. On the roll of 4 or 5 or 6, draw a normal threat card instead. Fleeing darkness. During the mission, the darkness marker moves the opposite direction than normal on the depth track. And anytime the darkness marker would be moved, move it down the depth track towards the darkness starts space. The darkness marker still triggers blood splatter and growing dread space as it moves over on the track as normal. Gaining on them. Whenever the heroes find a clue icon and the exploration tokens, immediately move the hero posse marker forward 3 spaces on the depth track. If this puts the hero posse marker at or below the darkness marker, the heroes have caught up with the Scafford gang, as detailed below in Catching the Darkness. Objectives. Catching the Darkness. Whenever an exploration token is revealed, if the hero posse marker is at or below the darkness marker on the depth track, the heroes have caught up to the fleeing Scafford gang and a showdown begins. Ignore any attacks or encounters listed on the final exploration token. Also, ignore any door or gate icons on the token as the objective room has no exits. Reveal all growing dread cards in the stack as normal, and then the heroes must face an epic threat, which always includes Scafford enemies as noted above. Once all enemies have been defeated, the heroes have successfully completed the mission. If the darkness marker ever reaches the darkness start space on the depth track, the Scafford gang gets away and the mission is failed. Note that the darkness marker can still move down the track even once the final showdown has started. And then, of course, you have reward and failure. And we'll get to that if we succeed or fail. All right, so let's get this started. We are going to roll to hold back the darkness. All right, so we got a 9. We are good. All right, so let's introduce ourselves. We've got the Jargano native. She has an initiative of 4, and she has she is using this dark stone daggers. She has a +1 initiative, so her initiative is 5. Then we've got the nun. Her initiative is a 2, so she is not going to be going first. Then we got the lawman, who's an initiative of 4, and then we have finally the prospector, who's an initiative of 2. So we're definitely going to be going first with the Jargano native. And she is also +1 move and may move through other models for her Serpent Slayer ability. And she's immune to poison markers. Alright, so she can be moving 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not quite to the door. She is going to scavenge. Let's see what she finds. Oop. Alright, so she got 1. So she is going to scavenge. See what she gets. She got something shiny. Okay, roll a d6. All right. She got 5. On a 5, she's gonna draw a gear card. All right. So let's draw a gear card. All right, she got a steel lockbox. All right, so use 2 grit to open, rolling a d8 on the chart below when discarding this card. Okay, so that is, it can be a trap, it can gain starting side bag tokens, it can be loaded with d6 loot, that'd be awesome, and or you can draw 2 gear cards and an artifact card. Wow, that's pretty great. So that was a hell of a scavenge to start the game off. Okay, let's move on with the lawman. And he's going to move 6. So he is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right up next to her. And he is also going to scavenge. Okay, he didn't get anything. Alright, so the nun and the prospector can go equally. So we'll just go with the prospector. He's going to go 3. 1, 2, 3, and scavenge. Now he has a special rule. Okay, expert miner. When the hero collects gold or darkstone from a loot, scavenge, or encounter card, double the amount collected. Oh, we forgot to get the 10 XP for finding that for the Jargano native. All right, so he has got nothing. All right, and then finally we're going to go with the nun. She got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and the sister is going to scavenge as well, and she got it. All right, so all right, and she got a small find. Okay, so $25 and 25. And, I'm sorry, 10 XP. Alright. Now we are going to roll again to hold back the darkness. Just put these scavenge cards right there. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, we got a 10. So that's good. We do hold back the darkness, and we're going to go with the Jargano native. She got 5. She's going to simply move up, and she is going to look through and find the storage room. All right, so we are back. We are going to pick an exploration token for this. All right, and then we've got the Dusty Crates encounter card. All right, so we found that encounter, and then we're going to go with everybody else. She is stopping right at the door. Lawman got a 1, so he's going to get a grit. All right. Alright, so he's got 2 grit now. And he is going to move right there behind her. The prospector, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the nun. 2, 3. Alright. So now we turn over the encounter exploration token, and it is an attack and a clue. Okay, so the clue icon is going to give us the gaining on them bonus, which is going to move our supposed to be 15, that's going to be 14, 13, 12. So we are gaining on the Scafford gang. We do have an attack. Okay. And then, so we're going to find out who we are getting attacked by. And that is going to be Scafford gang. Alright, so we've got Peril Dice of Scafford gang with D3 Hideous Mutations. Alright, so a Peril Die of Scafford gang. And then D3 Hideous Mutations. Alright, so let's roll for how many Scafford gang we got. So we got 3. And then we're going to roll for a D3 Hideous Mutations. And that's 2 Hideous Mutations. Alright. So we'll get our Scafford gang and come right back. So this room has 2 doors. So we're going to roll for the doors. Alright. So we got a 1 and a 1. So that's, we're going to have to roll something else there. We got 5. Alright, so right there. And right here. And then we're going to block off the other door. Alright. And then we've got our Scafford gang. Alright, and then we're going to be drawing a couple of Hideous Mutations. 1, 2. Alright, and so let's take a look at the Scafford gang. Alright, so the Scafford gang, Mutant, Outlaw Scafford, Initiative 4, Shootout. Scafford pistols, ranged attack of 8, 2 shots, and they do 2 damage each. Firefight, at Initiative 1, if this enemy is not adjacent to a hero, it will make an additional ranged attack without moving target using Shootout. Okay. So they get a second shootout if they're not next to anyone. Alright, so their move is 5, their escape is 3 up. Their range to hit is a 4 up, melee is a 4 up, 3 combat, 2 damage, 3 defense, and 5 health each. Now, 2 of these guys are going to have some hideous mutations. So, Writhing Mass. Much of this poor soul has been consumed in a writhing mass of tentacles and snapping maws. This model loses its Scafford pistols, firefight, and shootout abilities, moving and targeting like a normal melee enemy, but gains whipping tentacles. The end of its move, if the model does 3 automatic hits, 2 damage each to every hero within 3 spaces. Ooh. Okay, so we're going to give that to the orange guy. He's the closest one, so we're going to say he has the writhing tentacles. Okay, so we're going to put a 1 under him and a 1 on the card. Now the second guy, Phase Jitter, leaving phased echoes of himself as he moves. The mutation flickers and jitters as he steps out of the shadows and into the light. This model can only be hit onto hit rolls of 6 up and is immune to critical hits. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so it's this guy in the back. So we're going to do 2s on him. He can only be hit by 6s. That's going to be tough. Alright. So, now, put that card there to remind us of what they've got. Okay, so now we're going to roll to hold back the darkness, and then we'll get, as soon as we're done with this, we'll get into that encounter. All right, so we got double ones. That's not good. So double ones, ambush attack. There are fiendish creatures and demons in the dark places of the world. Ambush attack. Draw a threat to immediately ambush the heroes. Wow. All right, so just when we thought we were out of the fire, they pull us right back in. So let's see what we get here. This may be a very short fight. All right, so we are going to get Captain Burns, a Peril Die, a Scafford gang, and one Darkstone Brute. Well, I will say that we don't have any Darkstone Brutes. I don't actually own any Darkstone Brutes, so we're going to replace the Darkstone Brute with a Scafford Highwayman. All right, so it looks like the Scaffords saw us coming a mile away. Oh, we're going to roll a pair of dice to see how many more Scafford gang we get. We get 3 more. All right, so now that we've got an ambush with these extra guys. All right, so they come in as far away as they can due to the shootout rules. Let's see what Captain Burns does. Does Captain Burns have the shootout? Yes, he does. So he will be back as well. So a couple of these guys are going to be here. And then a couple of them are going to be in the back. All right. So it is an ambush. We're going to try to put them in the most advantageous position for themselves. All right, so let's read about the Scafford Highwaymen. Scafford Highwaymen, Initiative 4. They're going to be Initiative 6 this turn. Assault, Scafford Gang, Highwaymen, Shotgun, Ranged Attack, Range 4, 1 shot, Parallax of Damage, uses the D8 to hit. Run and gun. When making a ranged attack, the enemy rolls its full shots against the target and every other hero adjacent to the target. Robbers. A hero loses $5 for every wound they take from the enemy's combat hits. Dusters. A 5-up armor. Slithering Tentacles. Unless killed, this model heals 1 wound at the end of each attack that damaged it or had at least 1 hit assigned to it. Wow, that's tough. Okay, and then finally let's read about Captain Burns, Mutant Outlaw Scafford. Initiative 4 is going to be 6 this turn. Shootout. Scafford Pistol, Ranged Attack, Ranged 8, 4 shots, 2 damage. Firefight. At Initiative 1, if this enemy is not adjacent to a hero, we'll make an additional ranged attack without moving using the shootout. Give them hell, boys. All Scafford models, including himself, gain +2 shots while using their firefight ability. That's not good. Tough. Immune to critical hits. Alright, so this guy moves 5. His escape is 3. His range is 4. His melee is 4. Combat is 3. Damage is 2. Defense is 3. And health is 12. Yeah. So this guy's going to be a little tough. Okay, fun. Alright, so our Scafford gang at Initiative 6 is going to go first. So we've got this one guy. You know what? Let's go ahead and put him over here. Let's say that the Scafford gang came in this way. So it's an ambush from behind.
Well. Seems like this bunch of do-gooders got caught up in our little ambush.
The other members of the Scafford gang laugh darkly as the captain raises his pistol to fire.
Give 'em hell, boys!
Alright, so the Scafford gang on this side is going to go first. 1, 2. So they're going to... He's going to move up to make sure he can see everyone. And then he's going to roll a D8 to see who he targets. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so 7, 8 is going to be the nun. That is just not nice. Let's see some shootout markers. Definitely going to need some shootout markers. Alright. So the nun's going to get one. And then this Scafford gang guy is going to target. So everybody's going to get one at least. But the nun is going to be targeted by, since there's 3 of the Scafford gang guys and then 1 of the Scafford highwaymen, he has a range of 4. So he's going to move up 1, 2, 3, 4. So he can hit everybody. And then finally, Captain Burns is going to be the 5th to move up, or to target. So 1, 2 is going to be 2 on the lawman. Alright, so we got to do those a little bit differently. The Scafford highwayman is a little bit different, and Captain Burns is a little bit different on the lawman. Alright, so the Scafford first, and they're all going to get +2 shots at their firefight ability. So if they don't have any, okay, so they only get their regular shots during this exchange. Okay, so 2 shots each. All right, so 2 on the prospector. So that is a 4 and a 3. 1 hits. All right, the prospector's defense is a 4 up. So he's gonna roll to defend, and he made it. So that is his. And then the Jargono native. Oh, that's 2 hits. She is going to roll to defend. She's got a 4 up. So she defends 1 and takes 1. So that's going to be 2 wounds on her. Alright, that's hers. And then we've got 1 regular one on the lawman. That's no hits. And then we've got, now we're going to move on to Captain Burns. He's got 4 shots, so that is 4 dice coming with the lawman. Okay, so all 4 of those hit. And then we're going to roll to defend. Okay, he defended 3 of those, and he's going to take 2 damage from that attack. Alright. And then we've got the Scafford highwayman. Now he's a little bit different. He has got a range 4 1 shot. He uses the D8 to hit, and it's peril die of damage. And that is at the nun. So that is a 3. He missed that shot. Okay, great. Whew, that was lucky. Alright, so now the Jargono native is going to go. She is going to roll to move. She got a 2, 3. That kind of stinks because I wanted her to move closer. 1, 2, 3. Now she can move through any model, so she does not need to stop there. She's going to stop here, and then she is going to roll her attack against the Scafford highwaymen. Alright, so let's clear out some of this stuff here. Make a little room. Alright, 4s are better. So, okay, she got 3 hits. Alright, so she is doing 3 hits. Now his defense is a 3. He has an armor save of 5 though, so she's gonna have to roll pretty good for these. He is not a beast. She does not get +1 damage. Yep. Alright, so it's just regular strikes. Alright, so 2 5s and a 3. The 3 does not beat his armor. The 2 5s do, so that's going to be 4 damage total. But he has got armor saves of 5 up. So, alright, so he took 3 damage. That's good. He can heal that damage though, so we gotta watch out for that. And then we are gonna go with the remaining Scafford gang. Now, this guy has the writhing mass, so he is going to be moving up to attack. He can reach, let's see, they move 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's either the nun or the prospector. 1, 2, 3 for the nun, 4, 5, 6 for the prospector. All right, so he's attacking the prospector. All right, and then he is going to get, at the end of his move, this model does an automatic 3 hits. All right, that do 2 damage each to every hero within 3 spaces. Yikes. Okay, so he's going to do 3 attacks on the prospector. So does he deal with firefight, shootout ability, moving and targeting like a normal melee enemy, but gains? All right, so he's going to get this on top of his regular hits. So for the prospector, he's got to block these hits. All right, so he blocks 1 and takes 2, doing 2 damage each. So that is 4 damage on the prospector. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the nun is going to block 1 and take 4 damage. Yikes, that guy is nasty. And then 3 attacks on the lawman. He blocked none of that. He is going to use one of his grit to re-roll that. Okay, he did block 1, so he's going to take 4 damage. Oh, wow. Okay, and then he's going to do his regular attacks, which is 3 combat that does 2 each. He needs 4s or better. And he got 1. This prospector needs to roll 1 defense dice. And he does not, so he's going to take 2 more damage. Okay. Alright, that's the end of his turn. Then we are going to do the other 2 remaining Scafford gang. And they've got a range of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's going to need to move up. 1, 2, 3. And he can see... He can get everybody there, so he's going to roll a d8 to see where his shootout goes. So, oh, sorry. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5, 6 is the lawman. And then this guy's going to move up right beside him. 1, 2 is the nun. All right, so these guys each get 2 shots. So now we've got that guy, just this guy right here can't only be hit by on 6s or better. So 2 shots on the lawman. So that's 1 hit, and then the lawman will defend. He defended, and then 2 shots on the nun. 2 hits. And then she's going to defend. She does not. She is going to use her grit to try to at least defend one of those. All right, she got both of them. That was a great use of grit. So she defended both of those. Whew. Okay, so that's their turn. All right, so now the lawman is going to go. The lawman is going to try. He's going to roll to move. He got a 6. He's going to stay where he is. Yeah, he's going to stay where he is and then just try to shoot the Scafford Highwayman. Alright, so he's got his Peacekeeper pistol. And he's going to go ahead and use his Sheriff's badge because holy moly, we've got a lot of guys after us. Once per adventure, give all your heroes with +2 shots with a gun or +2 combat they choose during the next activation. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and use that. So during his next activation, he will get +2 shots. He's got legacy bullets. Once per adventure, add a pair of dice of damage to one of your gun hits. Alright, so we may use that, we may not. Alright, so he's got 3 shots. Alright, so he is going to use his second grit to reroll those 2. And it didn't do any good anyway. Alright, so he's got a critical hit. They're not immune to crits, so he's going to roll his damage. Alright, so 3 damage will take the Scafford Highwayman out, but he does have his armor saves. Oh man, he made all of those armor saves. Holy moly. Okay. Alright, well, that's the lawman. The nun is going to do... She is going to try to do her sermon of smite. She needs to pay the cost, and that is 2. And that leaves her with 1 faith, and she's going to add that faith to give a +1 to this hit, so she can use all 3 of her faith. So she's going to roll 2d6. She's looking for a 9 for smite. Okay, she is going to not get it. She's got a 3. She does not have any grit left. Okay, great. Oh, that stinks. Okay, and then she is going to... I'm guessing she can still shoot her weapon. She has got a shotgun, a redemption shotgun. Alright, and that is range 3, 1 shot, uses D8 to hit, and 2d6 for damage. Alright, so she's going to roll that. She's got a 7, so that is a critical hit. And she's going to shoot this guy. So 2d6, that is 5 damage. He is not immune to crits, right? And they have 5 health. So that guy has been blown away. Now she is going to get... Mr. Writhing Tentacles is get a 15 XP extra, so that's 25. That's 40 XP for that guy. Ooh, that's really going to help. Because, man, that guy was slaughtering us. Okay. Now, the Prospector is going to go. The Prospector... Oh, she did not roll to move. The nun did not roll to move. She got a 2, so... That's fine. She couldn't move anyway. She was next to that guy. The Prospector is going to roll to move. He got a 4. So he is going to move next to the Scafford Highwayman. Now he has got 3 attacks because he's got +1 combat for his Heritage Locket. It's got a heavy pickaxe. Melee attacks use a D8 to hit and cause a crit on 6, 7, or 8. So it's a D8 to hit, but a D6 to wound. Your combat hits are +1 damage. Okay, so these are all +1 damage. So 3d8 to hit. Alright, so we got 1 crit and 2 regular hits. Alright, so they're all going to do +1 damage. So the crit, this guy, oh wait, the 6 is the only one that's going to hit him, and he's immune to critical. No, I'm wrong guy. Sorry, I was thinking he was attacking that guy. Okay, so yes, so this crit is going to do 3, 4 damage, and that is going to take this Scafford Highwayman out completely. All right, and that's going to net him 35 XP. Okay. Not doing too bad. We're pretty wounded all around. Okay. And then that can come off. Now, it is a new turn, so we're going to roll to hold back the darkness. And we got an 8, so we did hold back the darkness, so that's good. Now, everybody's going to go in initiative order. Captain Burns' initiative is 4, so the Jargono native is going to go first. And, yep, so she's going to roll the move. She got 5. She is going to go after Captain Burns. She sees him as the greatest threat. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Sorry. We've got to do all the shootouts. All the, let's see, all of the firefight. So, firefight. In Initiative 1, if this enemy is not adjacent to a hero, it will make an additional ranged attack without moving. Alright, so we'll start here. So we'll just do the Scafford gang handing out shootouts, so everybody gets 1 at least. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So Scafford, 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 and then this Scafford gang guy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He can hit everybody. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, alright, so the lawman is going to get another one. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's from Captain Burns. And 2 is going to be the prospector. Alright, so these all need 4 ups to hit. So the 2 on the prospector, 1 hit, and then he's going to roll his defensive dice. He does not, so he's going to take 2 damage. It's going to give him a total of 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's okay. He's about halfway. All right, so those are his 2. The one on the Jargono native. I'm sorry, it's just 1 roll. Okay. So she's definitely hit. She's going to roll to defend. She does not, so she is going to take 2 more damage. She's up to 4. Alright. The 2 on the lawman. Okay, so 2 misses. That's nice. And then finally the one on the nun. That is a hit. She is going to roll to defend. And she does not, so she will take 2 more damage. Okay, so putting her at 6 damage. So she's at half. Okay, now we roll to hold back. No, we did hold back the darkness. Now we're going to go with the Jargono native. She's going to move up and attack Captain Burns. So that is 4 dice at Captain Burns. Meaning 4s are better. Okay, so she got 2 6s, a 4, and a 3, so she hit 3 times. He is immune to critical hits, I believe. Tough, yes, he is immune to critical hits. So that's 3 hits on Captain Burns. She is doing 3, 3, and 5. Alright, he is not a beast, so she does not get a +1. His defense is a 3, so she does 2 damage to Captain Burns, and he does not have any armor. Alright, so that's not too bad. Captain Burns. Alright, but it is now everybody else's turn. Alright, so these guys, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. They are still within range, so they can hit everybody. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 1 is him. We're going to 1 on the nun. That's right, because they all get at least one. For the 4 guys that are not engaged, these other guys are going to have to try to break away. All right, so we'll do that. 1, 2, or 3, they can break away, I believe. Okay, so it is on a 4 up. He did not roll a 4, so he has to stay. Captain Burns also rolled 1. He has to stay. So that is the only shootout that's happening this turn. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do those shootouts. So it is 2 shots on the nun. One of those hit. She's going to roll to defend. She got a 6, so she defends. 2 shots on the lawman. 1 hits. He does not defend, so he takes 2 more damage. That brings him up to 6, 7, 8. All right. 2 on the prospector. So that's 2 hits. He's going to need to roll to defend. He defends 1 and takes 2 damage. All right. And then finally on the Jargono native, she takes 2 and defends 1 and takes 2 damage. And then it's going to put her up to 6 total. It's not good for her. All right. So now it is Captain Burns attacks. He has 3 combat, doing 2 damage each. So that is on the Jargono native. And then it is the same for the Scafford gang member that is right next to him. So that's a total of 6 attacks, needing 4s or better. Okay, so 3 hits. So she needs to roll 3 defense dice. She blocks two of those and takes 2 damage. Okay, great. Well, not great, but all right. So now it is the lawman's turn. He is going to roll to move. So that's got 5. So he's just gonna move up here and shoot at Captain Burns with his 3 shots. All right, so that's 2 hits. Oh, wait, and that's plus 2 more attacks from his sheriff's badge, and it's plus 2 more hits from the Jargono native. So we'll do hers first. The Jargono native is going to attack him again. So she got 1. He's immune to critical hits, but let's see what she can do. She got a 3, does nothing. All right, so 2 more hits from the lawman, 2 hits for sure, and then so that's a total of 4 hits from the lawman. Okay, so that is a lot of damage. Good. So that's going to be 2 damage, 4 damage, 6 damage, 9 damage. All right, and he's got 2 on him already. That's great. So that is a total of 9 plus 2 is 11. He is almost dead. Nice. Okay. Now we're going to go with the prospector. He's going to roll to move. He got 4. 1, 2, 3. So he is going to attack Captain Burns. All right, and he got, does he have any? Yeah, he's going to grit that roll. He's got 1 grit, so he's going to roll these 2. All right, so he got 3 hits, 1 critical, but he's immune to criticals. Just needs 1 more damage here. Okay, and he definitely got it. So he has killed Captain Burns. Okay, I should have been doing it. Alright, so the Jargona native should have gotten 20 XP for her hits. The lawman did 9 damage, so he should have gotten 55 XP for that. And then the last damage should have been 15 for the prospector. Great. So Captain Burns is a legendary character, and Captain Burns has been killed in this campaign. No more Captain Burns. We are wiping the Scafford gang out, 1 Burns at a time. Excellent. Okay, so now the nun is going to go. She is going to roll to move. She got 6. So she is going to, what is her... She's got 3 faith. She'll get 2 shots. She'll get 3 shots with her redemptionist shotgun. So she is going to stay where she is and take those shots. Thanks to the sheriff's badge. All right. Oof, boy. All right, so she got 1 hit because we cannot hit the other guy. So she's going to roll on this guy. I'm sorry, it uses a D8 to hit. I did that wrong. All right, so I'm going to roll that over again. So she got a 7, so she can hit that guy. So she's going to roll 2d6 to damage that guy. So she got a 7, and that guy is gone. Woo! That was lucky. All right, so that is going to net her 25 XP. Horrible mutation. Both of those guys are gone. And then she is going to try to do some faith healing on herself. No, she's going to do faith healing using all 3 and then adding a +1 for the 3rd faith. All right, so she got the faith healing. She's going to roll a D3. She's got 2 on that, so she's going to heal 2 from herself. Great. Alrighty, and then that is it for this round. Nope. So they've all got the shootout again. So, and I didn't do that correctly the last time. They should have all gotten more attacks because Burns gave them +2. So everybody's going to get +2 attacks because I forgot to do that. All right, so these are coming from the Scafford gang that were not adjacent. So there's going to be 2 on the nun. So that's 1. She's going to roll to block. She does not block that, so she's going to get that 2 back. Well, that's fine. All right, so 2 on the lawman. That is 1 hit. He's going to roll to block that, and he does not. He takes 2 wounds. It's putting him up to 4, 6, 8, 10. That's not good. And then 2 on the Jargano native. It's 2. She blocked 1 of those, so she takes 2 more. So she is up to 9. That's not good for her. And then 2 on the prospector, which is 2 hits. And then it's 2 blocks. All right, so he's fine. Now it is the end of this turn, and they all get 1. So 1 on the Jargano native. That is a miss. 1 on the prospector. That is a miss. 1 on the lawman. That is a miss. And 1 on the nun. That is a hit. So she's going to roll to defend, and she does. She got a 6. Okay. All right, so rolling to hold back the darkness. All right, double 12, yes, or double 6. That is awesome. We needed that. Okay, stubborn resolve. This place is horrible and unforgiving, but you're not about to give up without a fight. Each hero may immediately heal D6 wounds or sanity, any mix, or recover 1 grit. KO'd heroes may immediately recover, rolling on the injury of madness and healing 2d6 wounds, any mix. All right, so we're just going to simply do some d6 rolling here. 1 for the Jargano native. She got a 6. That is awesome. All right, 1 for the prospector. You got 5. Nice job. That's 5. For the lawman, you got a 3. He's going to take 3 of those off. Nice. And then for the nun, she got a 3 also. 1, 2, 3. Awesome news. Okay. All right, so that could not have gone better. All right, so the Jargano native is going to go first. She is going to roll the move. That was Captain Burns. She got a 3, so she's simply going to move here. And that's good because none of them can get those shootout markers now. And she's going to attack her 4 attacks. Yep. Okay, so she got 2 hits and a crit. So for the crit, she's going to apply it to this guy. That's 2 damage to that guy. And they're not immune to crits. Okay, and then she's going to use the second attack on that guy. She got a 4. His defense is a 3, so that's 1 more damage. And then the last attack on that guy. She got a 5. That is another Scafford gang dead. And that is 25 XP for that guy. Good job. Okay. Oh, you know what I haven't been doing? I haven't been re-rolling. The nun can re-roll, once per turn can re-roll a single die on a defense roll, and the lawman can re-roll a single to hit roll. I need to remember that. Okay. All right, so that is her. Now it's the Scafford gang. All right, so this guy's going to try to move. He cannot move away. Yeah, because he would end up either there or there. He can... Well, I mean, a hero would be able to do it. So 4, 5, or 6. Nope, he can't. The other guy can. So he's going to move 1 away. So now we're going to get some shootout markers. This guy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he can hit everybody. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 1 on the lawman, and then this guy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So he's going to need to move around to try to get everybody. I don't think he can do this though, because yeah, let's say he can. Okay. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is 1 on the prospector. Okay, so now we've got 2 shots on the prospector, 1 hit. The prospector needs a 4 better. He does not, so he's going to take 2 wounds. All right, so 2 shots on the lawman. That is a 5 and 1, so that is 1 hit. So So he needs to roll a 4 better. He does. Okay. Now, we've got some combat coming right here. That is 3 combat dice. Meaning 4s are better. Alright, so he missed all 3 of those. Great. Alright, now it is the turn of the lawman. He is going to roll to move. He got a 5. He is going to shoot. Alright, so he got a crit and a hit. So the crit is going to go on this guy right here. That is a 1. 1 big old damage. And then the second attack will go on the same guy. Got a 5. So that it is 2 more damage to that guy, and they have a health of 5. Alright, he's done. Then the prospector will go. He's going to roll to move. He got a 1. So that's going to give him a grit. He's going to move up and attack that guy. Rolling 3 attacks with a D8. Because that's how he gets the job done. Alright, so an 8, a 2, and a 5. So 2 hits. One of them is a crit. So this is plus 1 damage each. So this is the crit. So that's 4 damage on that guy. 2, 3, 4. And then the regular hit is going to do 5 damage. So he is out. Alright. So that is 25 XP for the prospector. And then finally, the nun is going to roll to move. So she got a 2. She's going to stay where she is, and she's going to blast this guy. She's going to use her 3. She's going to use her faith healing. Oh, I forgot to re-roll on the. He can re-roll 1 to hit dice, so he's going to re-roll 1 because he did miss 1. So you got a 5. All right, so the damage is 2, does nothing. All right, so she is going to attack that guy with her big old shotgun. She got a critical hit, and that is a 2d6. Oh yes, this guy is paste. All right, she is spreading the word across the land and written in blood. Okay, and then that is it. It is out. He is not next to anybody, so he is going to roll to shoot out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so 6. It's going to be the lawman. That makes sense. He was shooting at him. All right, so that is 1 shot. That is a hit. And the lawman defends it. All right, so we'll roll in to hold back the darkness. I do not. Okay, so that is going to move, instead of up, it's going to move back towards the darkness marker, but we got to try to catch it. Okay, so now we're going to roll with the Jargano native. She got 5. She is definitely going to move up and attack. For 4 attacks. Okay, so she hit twice. And she got a 6. That is definitely going to beat his 3. The 3 does nothing, and he is gone. Alright, so that is 25 XP for her.
Dagnabbit, none of these fellows was dueling.
Well, we didn't exactly have time to figure that out beforehand. But my lord, were these fellows in a bad way. No offense intended, sister. At least we put them out of their misery.
And normally I would disagree, Sheriff, but the devil was at work in these men. I can't imagine the suffering.
Bolette is the only member of the group that seems unfazed by the appearance of these bandits, as she calmly cleans the gore from her knives.
Well, we should keep going. If we don't find Doolin, at least we can rid the area of these unwholesome ne'er-do-wells.
Amen to that.
Okay, and that is it. We're going to catch our breath. So the Jargano native is going to roll to catch her breath. She got a 2, so that is 1. The rest of the party did not activate this turn yet. So for the prospector, he got a 6. So that is going to clear off 6 damage. That's going to take him to almost full health. Yep. He's got 1 left. For the lawman, you got a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then finally for the nun, she got 1. Alright, so now we're going to go for loot. Wow. Alright, so he's going to get 2 loot cards because there were 2 cards that came out of that ambush. Wow, I thought that was going to go way worse than it did. We got some lucky rolls. That double 6 really helped me out on that one. Alright, so we're just going to do 2 at a time. For the Jargano native, she's going to get a Darkstone Shard and $100. $100 and a Darkstone Shard. And 50 XP. Nice job. Darkstone Shard. Okay, and then we're going to shuffle this back up. Now for the prospector, he got 50 gold and D6 times 50 gold. So that is 250 gold, but he's got some special rules when it comes to that. And his rules say, expert miner, whenever a hero collects gold or darkstone from a loot scavenge or encounter card, double the amount collected. So he's going to get 500 gold. Holy moly. That's pretty darn good. He's going to be raking in the dough. And then he's going to get 40 XP from that little encounter. Not too bad. Holy crap. That's a lot of gold. Alright, and then we're going to shuffle those up. Do the lawman next. Alright, so the first one is, this should come in handy. Draw a gear card or an artifact card in another world. And D6 times 50 gold. So he's going to get 150 gold. 150. And then he is going to get a gear card. So he gets a Darkstone Bracelet. Once per adventure, cancel an enemy model's attack before the dice are rolled. Wow. Alright. He'll take that. Nice cards. And then finally, he is going to get 40 XP. And then finally we have the nun with her shotgun. She's going to get a Darkstone Shard and D6 times 25 blood money. Yep, she got blood money, alright. So that is 25 times 6, which is 150 gold. And a Darkstone Shard and 50 XP. And they can sleep soundly tonight knowing that one of the Scafford gang has been defeated completely, utterly destroyed. Alright. So now we are going to roll to hold back the darkness. And we do not. That is going to give us our first darkness card of the game. That darkness card is, these have not been shuffled. And that darkness card is nothing personal. Heroes may not use or gain the benefits of personal items. Remains in play. That is not good. Okay, wow.
Hopefully the posse is on the right track, chasing down the Scafford gang in search of Doolin. Of course, there are a lot of tracks in a mine,